Even the most hardened adventurers watch their steps in Baldur's Gate, where lives hold prices in copper and greed proves deadlier than dragonfire. Baldur's Gate has a reputation for being a rough place where crime and unity walk hand in hand, and where anything can be bought, sold, or seized at sword point. If something can be given a price, it is for sale somewhere in Baldur's Gate. Drugs and poisons sit on shelves alongside tinctures and remedies. Trade goods from Chult, mechanical wonders from Neverwinter, tomes of magic from Kalimshan, and the most believable counterfeits of each can all be found in the city's stalls. The Flaming Fist, a mercenary company paid for by the city, protects residents without the barest hint of civil delicacy. The Watch, the guardian force of the wealthy upper city, exists only to serve the patriarchs, the city's detached upper class. Meanwhile, crime flourishes under the control of the Guild, which oversees almost every organized criminal act, from dockside gambling rings to blackmail at patriarch garden parties. Either under the Guild's auspices or in defiance of them, those who cut purses or throats make a decent living in the city, their talents traded as briskly, often just as openly, as those of any other professional. For all its shadows and dark dealings, Baldur's Gate is not without its lights. Some residents earnestly seek to make the city a safer place by banding together to make their own sort of imperfect but effective justice. You guys have each found yourself in the Elf Song Tavern. It's not the most luxurious tavern. It's not the dingiest tavern. It's a nice, run-of-the-mill, middle-ground tavern. It's comfortable. It's warm, especially on a night like tonight. It's raining outside. Like I said, it's nighttime. Kind of Baldur's sits along a river, the River Chianthar, and a fog has kind of rolled in. So, and it's not enough fog to like block vision outside, but it's enough to kind of haze the streets a bit. Um, so you found warmth here in the Elf Song Tavern. There's a half elf who's tending the bar. He looks older. There's a bit of a disparity between human years and half elf years. They can live a little bit longer, but he looks like he's getting on a bit, but still handsome. There's two young human men who run in and out of the kitchen, bringing food to customers, and there's two bodyguards by the front door. Not bodyguards, sorry, bouncers. One is a gruff female half ogre. Not very pretty, but very tough looking. And she's joined by a suit of animated armor that has a name scrawled into its breastplate. It says Clank. We'll start with Ellis. Could you describe Eartha?
I can. Briefly. Eartha. He is not on that piece of paper. God damn it. This piece of paper.
Just like appearance, mainly.
He is kind of rugged, he's been on the road a while. He has like amberish kind of skin, a nice bit of a beard going on. Kind of like the rangery kind of look of hair. He's in kind of heavy, leathery kind of armor, so it's not like... It's not heavy, but it's not light either. It's like... It's good. It's good. On
Kind of some chainmail in there as well.
He has like a little insignia here of his wonderful deity. He has the symbol of the Red Knight, which is just a red chess piece, like a knight chess piece on his chest plate, pretty much. And just a very ruggedy looking kind of person at the moment, because he's been on the road a while. So yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Where do you think he is in the tavern? Do you think he's like at a table or in a booth or at the bar or by the fire? And do you think he's got any? Do you think he would have ordered food or anything to drink or anything?
I think he probably would have ordered a drink, and he's probably sat like by the fireplace, just warming up after his long, cold journey. So like by the fireplace.
By the fireplace. Yep. So you've not, you've not been here long. Maybe about half an hour. And the half elf who is tending the bar, he kind of approaches you, and there's three stools in front of the fireplace for people to sit warm up, and you're sitting on one of those. And he kind of comes and stands by another of the stools. He's got like a rag over his shoulder. He looks like tired and haggard, but like he's been working all day. And he kind of just greets you. Excuse me.
Can I help?
Just, you don't look like you're from around here. Where are you from?
Oh, it's quite a distance, really. Don't know if you've heard of it. It's quite far out to the east. It's Center.
Far indeed. Don't get many from that far. Not here in the Elf Song.
No.
But there's a few places in Baldur's Gate with some Chisentan design.
I'm just coming to the church, There's a big church here for the Red Knight, and I trained over there with my father, and now I just want to get a bit more,
I see. Yeah, it's up north. It's a day or two's journey, I think.
Do you want to sit?
Can I get you anything else?
No, it's alright.
I mean, and he kind of he looks around a bit and he says, "This place is mine, but shouldn't let the staff see me nodding off. But you let me know if you want anything else to drink, okay?"
I will.
And he walks back over behind the bar, and kind of just starts pottering around again, making himself look busy. Yeah, thank you. So we'll move on to Jackson. Could you describe Samura?
So Samura is a Aarakocra wizard from Schultz, and he's only just recently gone to Baldur's Gate, and he's most likely to be in like a dark corner kind of like the bar, not creepily, but more of a scared prowess, and said he's very much always in like these bright robes and quite well dressed, and his Aarakocran style is a lot more like colourful, parrot-y type of way. He's got a lot of luminescent colours on him.
Mm-hmm. Do you think he'd be like tucked away in a booth?
Yeah, most likely, just like out of the way so that he can't get in any trouble.
Yep, no problem. Do you think he would have gotten anything to eat or drink, or do you think he'd just be?
I think he'd just be sat there with nothing.
Okay, no worries. Yeah, so you're a practitioner of magic, and kind of the time you've been here, like you said, not very long. One of your eyes has kind of been fixed on the suit animated armor that's one of the two bouncers. You probably about this kind of thing, like a enchanted suit of armor that acts as like a defense mechanism, but you've probably never seen one before. Do you want to make a perception check?
Oh yeah, that is 1 minute. I'm blind. That is 13.
13. Yep. So you're spending kind of like you're in like a dimmed booth in the corner. There's one booth that's kind of removed from the other three. You're just sitting down there and kind of peering outside of it every once in a while to like ogle at the magic armor, and you kind of notice almost like the carving in his chest is very much like someone with a dagger just kind of raked the metal, but there's kind of something more like a brand on his left gauntlet, and it looks like it says a name. You think you make out the name Rivelin Blackhand.
Okay.
Just based on like, I won't make you roll for this because I think just based on like your background, like as a as a wizard. You think this is probably the stamp or the signature of the magician that created the the spell that's kind of making the armor animated, you know?
Could I very frailly and like hugging my book like that,
Mm-hmm.
just like slowly approach? I'm presuming the bartender's now back behind the bar.
Yep, he's back up at the bar, yeah.
Yeah, can I just kind of like slowly approach them? Excuse me.
Yeah. So this kind of, like I said, kind of a little bit weathered, but still handsome, almost chiseled, but the skin's starting to drag a bit. Kind of graying hair, kind of put up into a top knot. You can kind of tell as you get closer, he's making himself look busier than he is. He's cleaning glasses or like mugs that have already been cleaned, and he has like a wide smile as you approach, and he's like, "Oh yeah, can I help?"
I was just wondering about the armor clank. Do you know who made that piece of armor?
Oh, sure. I had it commissioned at a place here in town, Sorceress Sundries. It's a little bit of a emporium, a magic shop. There's quite a talented man that operates it by the name of Blackhand, Rivlin Blackhand. I had him whip it up for some protection for the tavern.
Not to ask too personal a question, but do you know how much it like costs roughly?
Uh, I know when I had it made, it ran me a pretty penny. And I don't recall exactly. At least 1,000 gold pieces, maybe more. But Rivlin can also be a bit of a shuckster. He's very particular with money, so he might have been swindling me. I didn't have a lot of options here in Baldur's Gate.
Okay, and I'll slowly like kind of wander back to my booth.
He kind of like as you start backing up, he kind of like leans over the bar and goes like, "Oh, hey, I didn't." He kind of looks over at the dimmed booth and goes like, "I didn't even notice you in here. Where? What's your story?"
I'm just just trying to look for some books in town, see if they've got any useful knowledge.
Oh, I can't help you with that, but I'm not much of a reader. But there's a place up in the upper city where all the potions live. It's called the Unrolling Scroll. It's a temple to Ogma, uh, but there's not really much there. There's just a reflecting pool, but a lot of merchants stop there to sell books specifically. Usually, they're trying to get into Candlekeep, or they're trying to people that are trying to get into Candlekeep. But if you don't have any luck there, there's also the Wide. It's a big market, also up in the upper city. There's also the High House of Wonders. It's a temple. It's another temple, but I think that might be private access. You'll have to be careful though if you're trying to get into the upper city. You need a special pass, or you got to pay a pretty extortive toll.
How do you get this the pass?
You need to be invited up there by one of the rich blood. But he kind of leans in a bit. There's other less legal ways.
Oh, I don't know if that's for me.
He kind of leans back. He says, "No, me either, kid. But you do what you got to do here in Baldur's Gate. You just keep that in mind and stay out of trouble, okay?"
Okay, thank you, and I'll like wander back. See.
Yeah. Back to the booth. Yeah. Would you like to do anything else?
I'll just kind of. Can I make an Arcana check on the armor? I want to know how long it lasts.
Yeah.
10.
10. You have you think it's pretty much permanent unless something disrupts, like unless someone casts a kind of magic, like an anti-magic field or like a dispel magic, something that would end the spell. You think it's permanent.
Okay.
We'll move on to Jess then. Jess, could you just give us a little description of Anya?
Anya Enduran is a human bard from a place called Waterdeep. She has brunette hair and green eyes and loads of freckles all over her face. Her parents died when she was young, and she doesn't know what happened to them, so that's quite a mystery to her. So she was practically raised by her auntie and uncle and her older brother Jasper Enduran. She's been sent on a sort of assignment by her college to explore the world and come up with a composition to hand back in at the end of her term. And she also has taken this time to explore and try and solve the mystery of what happened to her parents.
No, yeah, that's perfect. Yeah. What do you think about where would she be kind of sitting or standing in the tavern? And do you think she would have grabbed anything to eat or drink or anything?
She would have had a drink, and I think that she would be sitting at one of the tables in the middle, like quite close to the door, quite in a sociable place of the bar.
Yeah, that's perfect. So as you're kind of just sitting there, did you say you think she would have gotten a drink?
Yes.
You're kind of just sitting there, like slowly finishing your drink, not rushing it. And one of the human servers that's kind of, so there's two young men that are like running back and forth from the kitchen, bringing plates of food out to people. They're just kind of pottering around, doing odd jobs, helping the bartender with stuff. Make a perception check. So roll the 20-sided dice and add the little perception skill.
Did you say perception?
Perception, yeah.
20.
20, yeah, great. So you see one of these young men, they're kind of quite plain looking. He has like blonde hair, but it's quite dark. It's almost like straw-like. He's quite thin, doesn't look like he eats a lot. Almost like a little bit wiry. But he's still like a little bit handsome, more just kind of like, he's not ugly, he's not handsome, he's just very like a plain, common young man. And you see, he kind of, you notice he stops for a second by your table. Like he walks behind you and he stops for a second, and you kind of like, out the corner of your eye, you like turn your head instinctively and one of your eyes catches. You see he crouches down like he's picking something up off the floor. But with that perception check, you notice he kind of jolts his sleeve, and instead of picking something up off the floor, he like had something hidden up his sleeve that he pretends that he's picked up off the floor. And he kind of taps you on the shoulder and goes, excuse me, miss, is this earring yours?
Sorry, that doesn't belong to me.
Oh, sorry, it was right by your chair. I mean, you can hold on to it if you want. I'm not going to do anything with it.
Fine, thank you. Maybe it belongs to someone else.
Yeah, probably. I'll leave it by the bar. Yeah. And he prods off and looked at the half elf man at the bar, and he leaves it sitting on the side. It's like a small silver earring with like amber coloured inlays in the side of it. Would you like to? Would you like to do anything else? Would you like to approach anyone, or do you think she'd just be keeping to herself, having a drink?
They keeping to herself.
Okay.
Just remaining at the table.
Yeah, no worries.
Because she doesn't have much to go up.
Yeah. So it's about this time you hear this kind of metal cacophony, like a bunch of, imagine like kind of a typical kind of kitchen noise when someone drops a bunch of pans and they all like ding ding ding, like a cacophony of sound. But can you all make a perception check?
18.
18 for Jess?
5.
5.
25.
25. Okay. Samurai, you are not aware of what I'm about to say. You're back in your booth. To be fair, you are the furthest away. You still hear the
I'm in my
metal
booth.
banging. Yeah, you're reading. Yeah, you're very deep into a reading sesh. You 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 still hear the metal clattering, but Anya, you hear like something beneath. Like there's the metal clanging, which takes up most of the sound, but there's also some other sound underneath that you can't quite place. But it kind of draws your attention to the kitchen door. But Eartha, your like gut instinct, like you've heard this sound before. This sounds like the kind of like the dry thud of a body hitting the ground. And it's about that time that you see a person kind of push open the kitchen door, and it's not anyone you've seen before. It's not one of the two boys that was running out. And you've maybe caught a glimpse of some of the chefs in the kitchen, and it's not any of them. This is a different person. They look rugged. They're wearing like leathers. They're wearing kind of moth-eaten clothes. And you see they've got this horrible like gnarled smile. You know, like they've got messy hair. They don't look well kempt or anything. And you see at this time other figures emerge from the lounge. From the lounge door, another individual walks out, very similar, moth-eaten leathers. From the front door, in between Clank and Half Ogre, another person emerges, and from the storeroom, another person emerges. These four, kind of your instinct tells you like bandits, ruffians, like cut purses, that kind of vibe. They don't look organized at all. These just look like common street ruffians. They all kind of emerge from every entrance except the staircase. No one there's a staircase that goes up to the second floor. Nobody walks down there. But other than that, pretty much all the other entrances, an individual walks through, and you can kind of see there's like this atmosphere in the tavern as Half Elf kind of leans back and is like, "Oh, you can't be back there," and then being like, "Well, I don't recall you going in." And then they all kind of draw these like scimitars from their scabbards, these curved swords, and like have them by their side, and like horrible toothy grin. Everyone roll initiative.
Actually, never mind. I'll do it later.
I got a solid 13.
Is that 20-sided dice, yeah?
20-sided dice plus initiative, yeah. 13 for Eartha.
I also got 13.
10. Got 10.
10 for Anya. Okay, well, Samura Ellis and Jackson, who would you like to go first?
I have to go first.
You go first?
I would like to.
Yeah, that's fine.
Overrule.
Okay. We're going to start with... I'm sorry, you got there first. My hands are tied.
Damn it. No.
The kind of covered, this guy covered in a dark traveling cloak, also wearing these robes. The guy that had come from the kitchen where the sound had come from, he, just like the others, has drawn like this kind of cruel looking sword from its scabbard. I'm just placing them. And then he is going to let's decide. He's gonna go for. He's coming from the kitchen, so he's gonna go for you, Eartha. Let's see. He's just going to make a straight weapon attack at you. That's a 15 to hit.
No. He misses.
No, okay. So yeah, this guy they're all standing in their various doorways. And the one from the kitchen runs at you with the scimitar drawn, and he doesn't look like trained or anything. He just takes this wild slash at you with the scimitar, and like as you're just now realizing the danger and like drawing your weapons, like you manage to do like a deft like dodge almost, just like a swift movement that avoids out the way as you kind of circle around the stool you are sitting on. Okay, next is the guy who was tending the bar, the half elf. He's going to just duck and hide, and just like he's going underneath the bar and is just like, everybody needs to leave before the guard goes up, and just kind of like announcing to the thugs like, you guys should go before the flaming fist show up, and then like ducking. Okay, Samura, it's your turn.
I know there's one right next to my booth, but is he looking in that way? Like, have I been noticed yet?
Make a stealth check. Also, while you're doing that, you have a familiar, a psychedelic yellow frog. Would you like him to have been summoned, or is he unsummoned?
We'll leave him unsummoned for now.
Yep, no worries. So yeah, well,
16.
16. Okay, I'll make a perception check, contrasting perception check. Okay, well the base roll was 18, so yeah, you can see like at first he kind of emerges and kind of like wipes his grinning mouth, and like looks around and doesn't notice you first, and then maybe like you try to like hide, and like there's like a screech of wood from like the stool you're sitting on, and he like turns over and looks at you. Yeah, he's looking over at you, but obviously you've got time to react first.
And we're in a wooden tavern, aren't we? So fire is not the best option.
Yeah, it's more the interior is wooden, the exterior is wattle and daub. You know those Tudor buildings that are like white with like the brown cross beams. That's the outside. So yeah, quite flammable.
I want to do it anyways, but it's just not a smart decision, so we'll not. Right.
Best decisions never are.
I think I'll go chromatic orb for poison damage.
Okay.
Which is natural 20.
Natural 20. Yeah. So tell us about chromatic orb.
So I pull out a diamond worth at least 50 gold. It's only worth 50 gold this diamond I have. And I
I'll say for the time being, this is just general to go up. Obviously, you guys haven't had time to go shopping yet, but also I don't want you guys to have access to your spells. So we'll say for now, like for this first session, you have any of the material components you need, like in reason, like as long as you don't need like a 500 gold piece diamond or whatever, like you have all of the components you need within reason, and then next session you'll probably have to go and stock up. So yeah.
So I got this 50 gold piece diamond, and as I like turn my hands, it starts glowing and turning more into a sphere and getting bigger to like almost like football size.
Mm-hmm.
And then as I speak into it, still moving my hands, it just turns green, and I just like throw it straight into the guy's face.
Hell yeah. Well, it definitely hits with a 20, so let's find out how much damage we're doing.
It is 3d8, so 3, 10, 12, and doubled is 24.
24. Damage, yeah?
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. Yeah, that just demolishes him. He goes out. I'll give you this though. Make a perception check.
That is 9.
9. Okay. Never mind. Yeah. So you as you said, you launch this football-sized greenish orb at this guy that's just emerged from the lounge, and he kind of like looks over at you and grins, and this orb just hits him, and like this poison like bubbles on him, and he's like, as he just like falls to the ground, reeling in it, and he just like at one point and is just dead on the floor in this pool of poison.
Yeah.
Is that your turn, or would you like to kill it?
Oh yeah, I'll just kill them all while I'm here.
Oh, cool. Good
I
play.
I wanna just jump. Cause obviously, I'm still in my little like cubby hole hiding. I wanna just kind of like jump, like stand onto my chair, which I was sat on, and jump over the table out in front of, like only just out of the booth, but then so I'm like visible to the whole room.
Yep.
And like stand over his dead body and just point at someone, just whoever's closest.
Be Anya. I'll say Anya is probably. Where would Anya be facing?
I meant point at someone who's like wearing the same apparel, and I presume is like in their group.
Oh, you're trying to like intimidate them. Like, look what I just did.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, sure. You look up to
he was just saying she's next.
Yeah, like, oh, I'm coming for her. There's a guy who's in melee with this rugged gentleman we know as Eartha next to the fire, and you kind of see he's just missed a swing at him, and now he's kind of orienting himself, and he kind of glances at you, and you just like point like a child, like point at the corpse of his friend, and you see him like. He's kind of like freaking out, like, "Oh, we're already one down." Yeah, okay, good turn, Jackson. Okay, next is.
I would like to pull out my longsword and use it with two hands, and just hit the guy in front of me, and then use War Priest to hit him again as my bonus action.
Hell yeah, take 2 attacks, go for it.
I got a 21 and a 21.
That hits.
So double 21.
21. Okay, yeah, I think that hits. So double 21. Yeah, roll damage on those bad boys.
10 and 9, so 19.
19. 19 damage total? Yeah.
Yes, 19 damage total.
Yeah, okay. So you kind of he misses this wild swing at you, and you see his eyes widen. He's almost like distracted that this person he clearly knows is like gargling to death in this pool of poison on the other side of the room, and he kind of like hesitates for a minute, and you just kind of like you finish pulling out your sword, and one arm reaches for the shield, but you kind of see he's distracted, so it goes back to the sword, and you just take 2 precise slashes at him, and he just falls to his knees and hits the ground, dead. Yeah, good job. So that is him deceased. Would you like to do anything else on your turn, or is that you done?
I would like to start moving towards the next guy.
Would you like to go the guy across from you at the storeroom?
Yeah. I'm just gonna like not even look away. I'm just gonna stare at him and just move towards him.
You reach the bar, would you like to start going around, or are you like getting up?
No, I'm just gonna walk straight over the top of it.
Okay, cool. So you he in between you and him where you were is the length of the bar. Like it's not just standing over it, it's like the full length of it. You kind of put one foot on a stool and like lift your other leg up onto the main bar, and you're just like walking along the edge now with your sword like dragging along, and like Alan, the half elf, is like hiding under the bar, like watch the wood, and he's like and you're just kind of marching towards this other guy. If that's your turn, then that okay. Well, he is quite dead, so he won't take his turn. Anya, it is your turn.
Okay, I would like to. I think I'm going to cast a spell.
Yeah.
I'm going to cast Dissonant Whispers.
Yeah, go for it. Tell us about that.
So, you whisper a discordant melody that only one creature of your choice within range can hear, racking it with terrible pain. The target must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, it takes 3d6 psychic damage and must immediately use its reaction, if available, to move as far as its speed allows away from you. The creature doesn't move into obviously dangerous ground such as a fire or a pit. On a successful save, the target takes half as much damage and doesn't have to move away. A deafened creature automatically succeeds on the save.
Okay, so tell me again what the saving throw was. What do I need to roll?
A wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw. And are you attacking the gentleman who's just walked in through the front door, or are you
Yes,
moving
the
over
front door, the one that's within my reach.
Yep, perfect. Wisdom saving throw. Okay, that is a 6. So he fails. So he'll take the full damage.
3d6 psychic
3d6.
damage.
So you roll those. They're your damage. So just the normal looking 6-sided dice. Roll that 3 times and add those up.
So 1 on the first try. 6. 6 again.
What was the total?
13.
13. Very good. Okay, yeah. You kind of like glance around. You hear like the 2 other like you see like this colorful bird man launch a ball of poison at one of these figures and is like on the ground screaming as he's dying, and the other one just gets cut down by the rugged gentleman in the corner by the fireplace. And you kind of like glance over at this person who's just walked into the front door. I think this one is probably a young woman with like bright ginger hair down to about here. And she's kind of walking in. She's in between the suit of animated armor and the half ogre, who are both like readying themselves to attack. And you can kind of see her attention is focused on the suit of animated armor. Make an intelligence check. So just roll the 20 and add your intelligence.
21.
21. Based on how she is like intently focused on the animated armor, you think either she has some spell or some way of dismantling the magic, because it seems like a weird choice to go for that immediately. So just like in your brain, you're like, okay, she's focused on that. She must have some way of dealing with it. And then you cast Dissonant Whispers, and these like bladed whispers shoot over and just like rack her with pain, and she falls to the ground dead before she can do anything. Wow, you guys are killing it. Good job. So that leaves one of these figures. The one that entered from the storeroom behind and to the left of the bar. Before he goes, though, it is the half ogre's turn. She can't actually. The half ogre lady can't actually see the other enemy, so she probably doesn't know exactly that he's there. So she's gonna kind of charge out the front door to see if anyone else is outside. Okay, now the last guy's turn. He is going to. Let's have a look. He is going to. He's going to stride forward, just like you did, Ursa, and kind of not jump up on the bar, behind it, kind of ignoring the half elf, the bartender, who is just kind of shouting nothings to anyone who's listening, like "Don't damage that, please," and like just reasoning. And he is going to. He kind of, as he's striding behind the bar, kind of like you two aren't heading straight for each other, kind of like heading past each other almost in trajectory. He kind of looks at his fallen comrades, and he utters this like horrible guttural incantation, and he is just gonna reach his hand out and try and grab your leg up on the bar. So that is going to be 22 to hit.
Yeah.
Okay. As this, as his hand kind of grabs your lower leg, and he finishes this dark incantation, you feel like a throbbing pain where his hand was, and you take. Oh no, that's the wrong dice. Here we go. You take 12 necrotic damage as although you can't see them, like the veins in your leg blacken and like almost like this necrotic energy, this purple and black energy kind of shoots through your leg, kind of sends pain shooting up to all throughout your body, but obviously focused in the leg. And then he will end his turn there with one hand on your leg, not grappling you or anything, not like holding you, just on your leg. And it is Alan's turn, the half elf who is quivering right between you two. He is going to. I'll make a check to see if he's feeling brave. He will make a. He'll make a wisdom check. Okay. He's feeling wise, and he decides to try and be as small and quiet as possible in this exact moment. So next turn is Samura.
So, I'm gonna move just 15 feet straight down towards the bar.
Yep.
And then I'm going to use my sling. Just to, try and launch a rock at him.
Go for it.
I'm so sorry, Eartha, but that's a natural one.
Oh, okay, that's perfect for. That's great. So you kind of quickly not dash forward, but you kind of quickly almost tiptoe forward as your wings almost propel you along a bit. And as you're going forward, you're kind of scrambling in your pockets, and you find this leather sling with a cup for a rock, and you kind of like pat yourself, thinking like, I'm sure I kept a pebble somewhere, and you find a little pebble, and you just, and it just smacks the back of the tall gentleman standing on the bar. Gonna thwack him in the back of the head. Roll some damage on that.
4.
So,
which,
Jesus.
Was the maximum damage it could do.
Yeah, that's intense for a sling. So 4 damage to Eartha. So Eartha, you thought there was only one enemy left. You thought you were just, but suddenly you feel like a shooting pain. You feel this pain shoot up from your leg, and like a second later, you feel a hit in the back of your head. That's about like a third as strong. Would you like to do anything else? Have you done enough?
I think, like, as I see his head move, I'll just kind of like jump and go like, "Oh, sorry."
Make it look like the corpse. Yeah. Which would you like to go in any direction?
No, I'll just stay where I am.
Yep, cool. Okay, it's your turn. So you're standing on top of the bar. This guy has his hand pressed against you, and this necrotic energy just shot up through your body.
I would like to cast Command on it.
Okay, yeah.
So I speak.
Tell us about Command.
So I speak one word to the creature that I can see within range. The range is 60 feet. It must succeed on a Wisdom saving throw or follow the command on its next turn. The spell has no effect on its target if it is undead or doesn't understand the language, or if it indicates that it's going to be harmful towards it. So like if I'm saying like die or something, it won't follow something that could kill it or hurt it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I would like to
perfect.
the word.
Do you want? Do I have to make a Wisdom saving throw?
Yes, I believe I'll have to beat my spellcaster modifier. Yeah.
Yes, that will be it. Let's see. Okay, wisdom. Okay. Okay, that was quite bad. That's a 6.
Okay, so he fails, and I would like to cast. I like to just say release, so that you let go of my leg.
Okay. Yeah. So you look down at him and you utter the word release, and like this almost not like this just divine presence almost overtakes you for a second. Your voice deepens in a very commanding way as you utter that word, and kind of although he's magically like bound by it, he almost looks frightened as it at the same time, and as his hand like retreats back to him.
I would then like to use my bonus action to cast Shield of Faith on myself.
Okay, cool. So if you want to just keep track of that, make sure that those are added. Then yeah, does it just adds your AC, correct?
Yeah. Yeah, just adds a +2 to my
Yep,
AC
so
through the duration.
you kind of like this yellow and red divine energy kind of almost like looks like it's flowing over you as like your ability to defend yourself, and like this divine presence shields you. Next is Anya.
I would like to. I'm stuck between two. I think I'm going to use. Sorry, bear with me.
All right.
I'm going to use Bardic Inspiration.
Yeah.
To help Eartha.
Go for it. Yeah.
Do you need me to read it? Because it's really long.
It's all right. So, correct me if I'm wrong. He now has a D6 that he can add to an attack roll, a damage roll, or a saving throw.
Yes. Ability check, attack roll, or save and throw it makes. Yes.
Oh, sorry. So not damage roll, attack roll, ability throw, ability check, or saving throw. So you've got an extra D6 there, Eartha. Great. Would you like to do anything else? Would you like to move it all, or?
No, I'm alright as I am.
Yeah, no worries. So the what kind of thing would Anya? Because with Bardic Inspiration, you have to kind of say something that like it doesn't actually have to be something stirring or inspiring. But what like phrase or word does Anya say that inspires Eartha?
You shall remember this victory forever.
Very poetic. So yeah, this phrase calls across from the other side of the tavern, and in an instant, like your sword feels like lighter. Like you feel like you're suddenly more able with moving it. Like you feel like you're more able to hit. You feel like if your foot fell, you'd be able to get up quicker. You feel inspired. You feel ready to rumble.
Oh, he can get it now.
So we'll move on then. So the half ogre is still moving around outside, checking the perimeter. Clank, the suit of animated armor, is going to go and join her in a search outside, seeing that you guys have kind of got this on lock. Now it's this nasty gentleman's turn. He is going to. Let's have a look.
Let go.
He's gonna kind of, yeah. Well, yeah. First of all, his hand shot back. He's not touching you at all anymore. But he kind of like, as the effect of the command wears off, like as he's completed the action, he kind of looks up at you and he's seeing this red and blue, not red and blue, sorry, red and yellow, kind of energy just passing over you, like the divine protection of the Red Knight. He kind of looks up at you and smirks, and like you see like he's missing teeth, and maybe like in one of his missing teeth he's got like a gold tooth as a replacement. He looks sleazy. His hair's all stranded in strands, and he he utters an incantation that is very familiar to you because it's the exact spell you just cast, and you see this black and purple energy kind of accumulate around him in his own shield of faith that swirls around him for a different god or a different force. Yeah, that will be. Yeah, that's going to be his. That's going to be his turn. Next up is Alan. He'll make another wisdom check. How are you feeling? Oop. Nope. Just he's still feeling wise. He's just trying to make himself smaller underneath the bar and trying to be like a mouse, trying to be quiet as Eartha and this crooked gentleman are just dueling it out like right above him. He's just kind of shriveling up and being like, "Don't hit me! Don't hit me! Don't hit me!" So we'll move straight over to Samura.
I don't know how this works. I want to, with my quarterstaff, can I topple him?
You want to try and like clothesline him, like knock him over?
Yeah, like kind of sweep his legs. I know in Baldur's Gate 3, the topple action is in if you have a quarterstaff. I just don't know how it works in actual D&D.
So, you want to like? So do you want to like go behind him and try and do that?
Yeah, preferably.
So you want to fly around the bar. So let's see if you've got enough movement. 5, 10. Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay. We'll bamf you over behind him. So you kind of like your wings kind of burst to life, and you just kind of spiral through the air like a hawk taking flight as you kind of like plummet to the ground behind him. And you've got like your quarterstaff lifted up to the very end of it, like a lightsaber, and you just sweep at the bottom of his feet. Make a strength. Actually, make a dexterity check.
Just straight dexterity?
Yeah.
7.
7. He got a natural 20, so the wood of your quarterstaff like hits his ankle, and like as this like divine it is divine energy. It is a shield of faith, but it's like a dark energy is spiraling around him, kind of these wisps of black and purple, kind of almost like a silhouette outline that kind of go across him. He kind of like he feels the thwack on his ankle, and he kind of just gives you like one glance from behind. You are also now flanking him. He is flanked. So you have advantage on attack rolls, I believe. Is that your turn?
I wanted to see if I could make a roll. Just get some sort of indication of... I don't know how to say it in like role-playing terms, like of his class, so to speak.
Okay, yeah. Make a religion check.
That's a 10.
10. I'll say you get you still garner some kind of average knowledge. So you kind of, while you're an arcane wizard, you probably only just recognize it as a shield of faith spell, whereas Eartha probably recognized it intently because the words he was saying, he recognized them because he just said them. It's just a different colored energy. It's a different vibe, and he kind of. So you I'll say you do garner that it is a religion, it is a divine source of the spell, unlike yours, which is arcane, and you're not really aware of, you can't think of the god that would do it. Obviously, purple and black, very vague. Probably thousands of gods over the world over that like respond to plenty of dark gods, and it might not even be a god. It could be some kind of demon lord, archdevil, even like fae, even some angels. You know, like the black and purple is a very you could find that in a lot of places. So I'll say you get the sense there's some sort of like there is some sort of backing here, some sort of patron, whether that be religion or whether that be a deity or some lesser being. You have no idea, but there is some sort of there is some sort of gift of power in this figure. He has been bestowed something by something.
Right.
Would you like to do anything else?
No, that's it.
Yep, no worries. Aether, it is your turn.
I would like to get down beside him, so kind of like hop off the thing, and just hit him once with my longsword, and then use War Priest again to hit him again.
Yep, go for it.
Also, Bardic Inspiration. How often can I use that? Do I choose what to use it on?
You can use it whenever you choose. You don't have to use it instantly. You can hold on to that. But yeah, like it doesn't have an expiry date until I think like you sleep. I think that's when you lose it.
Is it a one-time thing?
Yeah. Sorry, you've got the one Bardic Inspiration at the minute, and you, Jess or Anya, Anya can only give a maximum of one to each person. So she has a certain amount she can give out. She can give one to each of you, but she can't give two to one of you, if that makes sense.
Oh, so it's like War Priest, I have like a set amount, I could use that. Or like Channel Divinity.
Yeah.
Right.
It's pretty much, it's the Bardic version of Channel Divinity.
Alright, well I'm just going to hit him twice.
Yep, go for it. Roll a hit.
19 for one of them.
That one hits.
18.
18 also hits.
Right, that's fine then.
Roll damage.
I'm going to roll damage and I'm going to add the Bardic Inspiration as well.
Yeah, I think was that my mistake, or Jess, could you check? Can you add it to damage, or was that me messing it up in the beginning?
The number rolled to one ability check, attack roll, or save and throw it makes.
Yeah, sorry, you can't add it to damage. I think that's something she unlocks later.
Ah, well, that's a shame. Well, that's 17 damage. Without the
17 damage. Sorry, I should actually add. This isn't particularly relevant right now, but with Tasha's Cauldron to Everything, all the classes got new extras. Bard got an extra where you can also use the Bardic Inspiration dice to add to healing. So when Jess gives you Bardic Inspiration, you can also add that to the healing of a spell that you give. So you keep that in mind. Yeah, 17 damage, was it?
Yes.
Cool. You take these two hacks, that same kind of style that hack down the other guy, and this guy looks a lot more. He's kind of not old, but older than the others. This guy seems kind of rugged, and he kind of takes the hits and doesn't go down. He looks kind of like he's got like a cut on his arm, and like as he tried to protect himself on his back. But you know, he doesn't go down. He's just kind of. This guy has a dagger instead of a scimitar. He's just kind of like moving the dagger around in one hand and trying to protect himself. So yeah, he takes the damage, but doesn't go down.
Can I use my movement to draw my shield or not?
I'll say you only used 5 feet, so yeah, I'll let you use. Sure. Yeah, it doesn't make that much of a difference, so I'm fine with that. Yeah, you kind of release one of your hands from the sword and kind of shake your shoulder, and your shield falls down a bit. Grab it, ready yourself. Yeah, is that your turn?
Yes.
Perfect. Anya, it's your turn.
I am. Sorry.
Would you like to stay where you are, or would you like to move any closer?
I'm a little bit like stuck on what to do because I feel like anything I do won't be of any help. So
I mean, you've still got plenty of Bardic Inspiration to give out if you want to just try and boost other people, or you can try another spell. Or You could even run outside and see what the others are doing.
Don't you have a hand crossbow? You could just move a bit forwards and shoot.
I'll just move closer. About yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. And then I'll just pass my turn for now, if that's okay.
Well, one of the things you can do, if you like, you don't have to, but you can hold your action. So you can choose something that you would do on an action, like shoot a crossbow, swing your sword, or cast a spell. But you can set terms, so you can be like, okay, I want to hold a crossbow attack until he moves out of the way, or something like that. Or you could say, like, if you want to just stay out of this combat, you could say, like, oh, I'm going to hold a crossbow attack until someone comes through another entrance, or something like that. You don't have to do that, but just so
Didn't know I had a crossbow.
Is it? Well, Jackson just mentioned it. Do you have it in the section in the center of your character sheet where it says weapons? What does it have written?
No, I just have a rapier and a dagger.
Oh, Jackson, you monster. Okay, yeah, you don't have a crossbow. Jackson's just a dirty liar.
I thought Bards had one. It's my bad.
Maybe not yet. I'll get one eventually.
I think it might have been an option for starting equipment, but so you can just hold. But yeah, I mean, you can just pass your turn for now. That's fine. Just know in the future, if you also want to do that, you can. So that's fine. But yeah, skip those two because they're outside. Okay, this guy is going to. He is gonna take. Okay, he is just gonna turn around and unleash a multi-attack at Samura. Okay, he is going to. That's 18 to hit on the first one and 15 to hit on the second one.
Can I cast Shield?
You can, yeah.
It's a reaction, which makes an invisible barrier, which makes my AC +5 until my next turn. Meaning my AC is 19 and neither hit.
Yeah, so he kind of turns around, kind of this dark energy makes him look even grimmer in like the dim light of the tavern. And he kind of swirls his dagger and just unfurls it at you, and you just kind of instinctually, like almost shaking, kind of cast the reaction spell quickly, and his dagger just bounces off it, and he goes in again, and it still bounces off, and he kind of like he's looking at you, and now he does a quick look back at Eartha, kind of pinned between you two. He is then gonna just. He is going to try and just barrel over the bar, so you two both get an attack of opportunity.
I don't know if this is allowed, but can I take it to try and topple him again? Which would mean he'd kind of get stuck lying down on top of the table. Like if I try and hit his leg as he jumps over, so he's just like stuck on the table.
Yeah, sure. You both have advantage on it because you are flanking him, by the way. So...
I got 14.
16.
14? Okay.
Wait, do you want me to roll dexterity or my normal quarterstaff?
Normal quarterstaff this time.
Then yeah, it was 14.
14. Okay. You didn't quite meet, but you kind of go and do the same thing again. Kind of like trying to like, it almost looks like you're trying to like plunge, like you're just trying to sweep now. You're like, oh damn it, I missed, and now you just really want to get it done. And he just kind of like he does like a little dance as he's like barreling over. But Ellis, you do hit with your sword attack, so roll damage on that.
I have a question. Obviously, it's done now, but could I cast a spell rather than use the sword, or would it have to be like a melee attack for attack of opportunity? As an attack of
opportunity. No, it's not. It's not done. I think you can cast a spell. I think. Yeah, I'll say for now Yes, that might not be true. It might be a feat, but I'll look into that. But I'll say for now, yes. And yeah, you can choose to do that now if you want. Yeah.
Alright, well, I want to take out a small straight piece of iron and cast Hold Person.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
So, I choose a humanoid within range. The target must succeed in a wisdom saving throw or be paralyzed for the duration. At the end of each turn, the target must make another wisdom saving throw. On a success, the spell ends. However, by doing this, I will lose my Shield of Faith because they are both concentration spells.
Oh, good to know. Okay, he did not roll great. Wisdom, was it?
Yes.
That's 8 total.
He is now paralyzed.
So he kind of does like a dive over the bar, and like as he's like halfway over, like his head's over one side, his feet are still on the other. You kind of bend this piece of metal and consume it in the spell as you paralyze him, and he kind of just like his stomach hits the roof of the bar as he kind of like folds in on it, like his hands clap the front, his legs clap the back. He just kind of yeah. So I'll roll. I'll say he probably takes a little bit of damage for that. I'm just gonna roll a d4. He takes 3 damage, 3 like bludgeoning damage from just the gut punch from the bar. Yeah, that'll be that. Alan's turn. I think Alan is gonna let you finish this job now. Samura, it's your turn.
So his head's hanging over the other side of the bar, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna kind of like skip around the bar and like lie down so my head's looking up at his, and then just put my quarterstaff just below his head and just kind of like prod like that, just so the end of it just prods straight into his face. Give him a little love.
Yeah, a little.
While I'm laughing at him.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I won't make you roll a hit. Unless, do you want to do damage or are you just doing it playfully?
Oh, I'll just do it playfully.
Yeah.
And,
So
like,
you just
as
kind
I
of
do
like.
it, as I do it, I'm gonna be like, I wonder who you work for, and just like talking normally.
He's just like. Is he just like. Tap him a bunch. Is that your turn?
Yeah.
Cool. Eartha, what would you like to do? So you see this bird man now tapping on the forehead with this stick.
I'm assuming with the Explorer's Pack I'll have rope, right? Or should I quickly have a look?
I believe so. No, I'll check that, but I believe, yeah, that makes sense.
Then, with the minute that he's held in place, I would like to tie him up.
Cool. Yeah, you kind of make a survival check with advantage.
I got a nice. Actually, can I add Bardic Inspiration to it?
Yeah, you can.
That is unnatural 20. A 12, a 3, and a 5.
Perfect. Yeah. Yeah, great. So yeah, you kind of you recall kind of days out and like maybe camping or just training between you and your dad, and you recall the right knot, the right formations, and you kind of tie this guy up. We'll call combat here because this guy's now tied up, so he's not going to be much of a fight. So combat's over. You guys don't have to wait your turn. You can just do whatever you like. What are you doing with him? So you've got him. Would you like to tie him to a seat, or would you like to hog tie him?
Tie him to a seat. Be nice.
Cool. Yeah. So you kind of kick out a chair and tie him to it, and like the bartender has kind of like stood up again now, and he's like, "Oh, look at the mess!" As he's specifically looking at the pool of poison in which a half decayed corpse is, and he's like, "Oh, goodness." Yeah. So, actually, what are your passive perceptions? There's a little box underneath all your skills that should say passive perception.
11.
13.
13?
17.
And you, Alice? 17. Okay. I'm gonna say just yeah. Eartha, you hear like just during like the end, like while you are tying him up, you hear just like a thud. You're not sure where it came from. You just hear a thud, but you're kind of focused. You're kind of in the middle of something. So you tie him up, tie him to a seat. Cool. That's that. What would you guys like to do?
I would like to turn to Samara, walk
I'm going to assume...
over to him, and just pat him on the shoulder, and just not even say anything, just look him straight in the eye, and just leave it at that. In fact, no, I'm going to hand him his stone back
Nice.
as well.
Little respectful nod. Cool. Oh yeah, you take this back.
Yeah, I'm just gonna walk up straight to the guy who's being held person, and just like once it's over, I want to start questioning him.
So like yeah, as the Jess, what would you like? Oh, Anya, what would you like to do during this?
Well, me is me.
You as you. Well, yeah.
I was just gonna say I agree with Jackson. I would like to question him and know why him and his people were after us and wanting to kill us, basically, with no like knowledge of why they were there.
Yeah.
What?
So
I want to know whether he's after us or not. It might not even be after us.
Oh,
so you
that's true.
you three mainly kind of accumulate him as like the paralysis kind of starts to wear off and he kind of gets control of himself again. Alan, the half elf, is kind of keeping a bit of a he's kind of like prodding the corpses with a broom, just like lovelessly. Like I'm gonna have to clean this up. Clank and Schooner, the half ogre and the animated armor, they come back in and they're doing like a check of the other rooms, like walking up. Like they're just checking the other rooms on the ground floor, making sure there's no one else walking around. Yeah. So who would like to lead the questioning?
I would like to cast Cure
I'll
Wounds.
walk up to him and just go.
On
Me. I'm the only one who got hurt.
okay. Yeah.
So whilst
Fair
questions
enough.
go
Well, I
on,
thought you were healing this guy, so yeah, you're putting a band-aid on it.
Right, I'll walk up to him and I'll go. So it seems like a religious thing. Care to explain a little more?
What?
The magic.
I heard the. I look. It's an. This is a misunderstanding. You see.
Okay, well, when you come into a bar, I'm saying, and you've just got such a killable face. I mean, you saw what I did to your friend, so you better start answering.
He's kind of looking around, but you notice there's something that seems to be troubling him slightly less than the corpses of his friends. Make a perception check.
It's a good old-fashioned 5.
5. Okay, you're kind of focused on what he's saying, so you don't really catch some of the more minor stuff. But he does seem kind of almost preoccupied, like there's something else. Like, what? Like, why is something happening? So he's kind of like, Are you sure you're not going to go for the misunderstanding thing? It's all I've got.
So if I've noticed that he's kind of like more preoccupied with something else, I want to turn to like the main guy, like the barkeep, and just say like, tell him to like quickly check the rooms and scavenge literally everywhere and make sure you know everything in this building inside out.
Well, Schooner and Clank are already doing that. Schooner, check the kitchen, see what that noise was. And you see Schooner, the half ogre, opens the door and she goes, "Oh, chef, sit down."
At this point, can I position myself so it's like kitchen, then the dude, and me? So like his back is to the kitchen and I'm in front of him still.
Yeah.
And then I'll go. So who were you here for then? Was it me? Them two? Pointing to Ufa and Anya.
I already told you it was a misunderstanding. I think look, there's a lot that I've really got nothing, mate. I didn't think I'd end up in this predicament. Can you just? I'll. Do you need any? I've got nothing. I can work for you, maybe if you let me go. I can. I'm a strong man. This is not a strong man. He's a kind of wiry old man. He's like, I could be of help.
At this point, I'm gonna just kind of like not even respond to him. Turn to Anya, who I presume you said you wanted to question him as well, didn't you?
Yes.
So I'll go. Okay, well, he's clearly not talking to me, so you have a go, and I'll go alarm the entire building, every single door. I don't know if anyone's in out.
You're just checking the whole building?
No, I want to set up the spell alarm so that I know if anything enters or leaves this entire building.
Can you do it for the whole building?
Let me have a look.
I think you can just draw a line, like put a line of string out, right?
Oh yeah, it is only a door or a window. I'll not do that. I'll just start heading into the kitchen.
Okay. We'll get to Jess. We'll pick up with you in a sec. We'll just see what. So, Samara, you kind of go. So the half ogre is like looking around in the kitchen. You go to join her. You see, the two young men that were serving food, as well as 3 chefs, 2 humans and a halfling, are all lying on the ground in various places, asleep. They're not dead. They're like, you presume like a magical, like this, some sort of sleep spell was used.
Can I make an Arcana check?
Yeah.
That is 12.
12. Yeah, it's pretty basic. I think, yeah, it's just they'll sleep, like, where they have to roll a certain amount of hit dice, and if it ascends, it moves on to the next one. You think the guy that came in through the kitchen, the first person, like, obviously what you as you're piecing it together, you think the clanging of metal you heard originally was that guy casting sleep on everyone in this room, and they dropped pans as they fell to the ground. And then he and his lackeys emerged from other rooms.
Is there any more doors?
There's only windows. There's windows on either side of the kitchen. But make a straight intelligence check.
Oh, why is this buying a bad night? That's 9.
9. Nah, nothing. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just don't worry about it. So, Anya, Eartha's kind of using some magic to patch himself up. Samura is investigating in the kitchen. The owner, the half-elf, is kind of just like doing some minor cleaning up. You're with this guy who's tied to a chair. He's not talking to you, like he's not saying anything, but if you'd like to say anything to him, you can.
You're after.
Look, see, I'm just on a job. I wasn't given names. I'm just doing a job.
Am I allowed to cast a spell?
Yeah, if you want to.
Can I cast Zone of Truth?
Oh, great. Yeah, sure.
Do you want me to read it, yeah?
Yeah, go for it, yeah.
You create a magical zone that guards against deception in a 15-foot radius sphere centered on a point of your choice within range. Until the spell ends, a creature that enters the spell's area first time on a turn or starts its turn there must make a charisma saving throw. On a failed save, a creature can't speak a deliberate lie while in the radius. You know whether each creature succeeds or fails on its saving throw. An affected creature is aware of the spell and can thus avoid answering questions to which it would normally respond with a lie. Such a creature can be evasive in its answers as long as it remains within the boundaries of the truth.
I'll say at this point, because Samura has went to the kitchen, the half-ogre, the big burly half-ogre woman, bouncer, has also come and joined you over here. So she's kind of like some intimidation that gives him a reason to maybe not maybe speak. So I'll even that out a bit. But yeah, great use of the spell there. So he's going to make a charisma saving throw. You will know that he failed quite spectacularly. So what would you like to ask him?
Do you want to tell me now why you came into the bar and why you were, what you're after?
All right. Well, I really shouldn't say, but it's me dreams. No, you see him like literally biting his tongue for a second, like a. My dreams.
About your dreams.
How does he have to make a charisma saving throw every time you ask a question, or what was it?
It just says until the spell ends, a creature that enters the spell's there. So the duration of the spell's 10 minutes.
Oh yeah, great. Yeah. So what were you asking? Sorry.
What about your dreams?
Well, he's kind of like looking at the half ogre, kind of making himself squirrely in the chair, trying to make himself look less intimidating. He's already not intimidating, but he's trying to make himself look kind of small and pathetic. And he's like, seeing you in my dreams, and he told me that I'd stop fucking seeing you in my dreams if I just came and got rid of you.
Did you say singing in your dreams or seeing in your dreams? Seeing.
Yeah. So he kind of, I'll stop doing the accent. I'll explain it. Yeah. He said he's been seeing you in his dreams, and somebody told him some person in this dream kept telling him that he would stop seeing you every night until and killed you.
Looks like someone has a crush on you.
Who came to you in these dreams?
You see, this time he really bites on his lip and he does not want to say it.
Find your false hope.
Look, lass, I'm sorry, but I cannot see you three gawkers in me dreams anymore. It's been months. I know more about you than I know about my own kids, and I'm sick of it, right? And I'm done talking. I'm sorry, okay? And he kind of sits back in his stool.
How many teeth should
I'm
we pull?
presuming by this point I've most likely, if I've been in the kitchen, kind of shut the window and then come into the main room.
Yeah, so yeah, I'll say you probably caught the tail end of that.
I'd like to then cast. Ooh. Actually, I'm not casting. I want to walk up to him and get my claws, and I'd like to just kind of get at his cheek here, and just push in, so that my claw physically makes a hole in his cheek into his mouth.
You want to pierce him?
Yeah, so it's do you know when people get them piercings nowadays in their cheeks? I want to do that, but with my big talon and just make it so there's a hole.
Make a strength check with advantage.
Shit, I thought I was gonna do some intimidation shit, but
that is 19. And I want to kind of do it, and then as I do it, I'm gonna grab his back of his head and his cheek once it's done, and look through it with one eye closed.
Yeah, so you kind of tilt his head back, and you just kind of he's like, "What are you?" As you kind of pour your talon into his cheek, and you kind of see the blood starts kind of running along your talons as it pierces in, and you kind of do that you've got there's this vibe about Samurai for you other two. He seems even though he's kind of quite tall, he does seem like a child. he's very young, and he almost has this disrespect for life. Like, he doesn't really fully understand life and death, and he just kind of like, oh, I'm just gonna hit this guy. So yeah, you kind of bore into his cheek, and he's like, right, and he's kind of like moving his fist away, and he's like, right, I'm ready.
And then when it's done, I want to kind of like I said, grab his paw and his back of his head and look through it with one eye closed and go like, oh, it's like a telescope.
When you start saying creepy shit like that, Anya, he's gonna like lock eyes with you, and he's like, I'll tell you whatever you want, just get this freak away from me.
Let him speak.
I'll just back off. I'll go look at Clank so I can do some magical investigation.
As you walk Clank, the helmet, like, the armor doesn't turn, but the helmet like swivels to look at you, even though there's no face in there, and just one hand gauntlet just like raises and.
Yeah, I'll just kind of like, while they're talking, I'll just be like listening but like kind of just inspecting the armor and inspecting the magic.
So Anya, what would you like to ask?
What were you going to say?
You kind of see he's trying to like plan his words, and then he finds himself almost slipping because of the spell, and almost like splittering out what he knows. You're asking the wrong question. It isn't who, it's what. And he kind of one eye turns to you. So,
Well, what is it?
Cyric. Everyone make a religion check.
Can you repeat that?
Cyric. Cyric.
9.
What was it, sorry?
9.
9 for Jess.
Sorry, can you repeat the spelling?
Cyric.
And my check was 22.
19.
Yep. 19. Actually, Ellis, you have advantage. Roll again. See if it's higher.
19.
Okay, so I'll say. I'll start like this. Anya, the name sounds very familiar to you. You can't quite place it right now. Your blood's kind of flowing because, without even fully meaning to, 10 minutes ago you just killed a person, and that's never happened before. So like you're kind of like thinking, like, as you're just doing this, and you're like, I just killed that man. Oh my god, I just killed a person. I'm pretty good at this, I guess. So you're kind of like thinking about that, and you kind of get distracted. But the name does sound familiar. Ellis, you are the next. You are the next in terms of highest. So you recognize the name Cyric. Cyric is a god. He is also called the Prince of Lies. Cyric is one of the bad gods. He isn't great. Like the name Prince of Lies would suggest. He's also quite mad, does things. Imagine, like, if any of you, well, Ellis, just for you, actually, I think, you know, Sheogorath is Skyrim, the Daedric Prince.
Yeah.
Kind of imagine that, but he has very evil intentions instead of kind of being sarcastic. He's quite evil and mad and a liar, and he's the god of those kind of things. But Samura, because you, Jahairol, you know a bit extra. Cyric was, so about 100 or so years ago, a bit more than that, there was this big event that happened called the Avatar Crisis. And basically all the gods up in their heavens got cast out and had to walk the material plane as mortals, and they could be killed. which made them very vulnerable. During this time, at the end of the Avatar Christ, some mortals also ascended to godhood. One of these mortals was Cyric, who was just he ascended to godhood and essentially kind of orchestrated the death of the god of magic, Mistra, which kind of set off this whole other event called the Spell Plague, which magic stopped working for a period of time, and anyone who tried to use it, there was like these chaotic random effects. Like the world was like out of motion, like places from other worlds would pop into existence. He basically ruined everything for a long period of time. So no one's really a big fan of him. You have to kind of be like a deranged cultist, or he has to have some kind of power over you to kind of be into that, because he doesn't offer a lot. Ellis, you would probably have a little bit more knowledge in terms of Aether. You wouldn't know a whole lot, but you would know the Red Knight absolutely despises this guy, because the Red Knight is very planning, strategy. Cyric is very much like spontaneous, lie, don't care about the consequences. Those two are not palling around much at all.
Hearing this, then can I bounce back over the room, just kind of like spread my wings, give myself a little hovering flight over,
like a pigeon.
Yeah. And I just kind of want to turn around and go like, do you know any? Oh, sorry. Do you know anything about your god?
Well, all right. I wouldn't exactly go as far as to say he's my god. He asked me. Well, he told me to do something.
To you.
Look, I don't care. He's got dirt on me, and I am gonna do what he says until he walks off back to wherever he cohabits.
Cyric is a god. Doesn't it just go back to where he's hiding? He is omnipotent. He can hide and be powerful over you.
One other thing that you would know, Samara, I'll say, because you rolled quite high. 22, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, because Cyric set all of these horrible events in motion and like destroyed magic for a period of time, killed other gods, general douchebag, and just like kind of in general, this kind of alliance of other gods sealed him away in his. All gods have kind of their plane from which they like where they live, where they habitate. He lived in this, which he calls the Supreme Throne, but it's actually like this desolate, horrible place. And they've sealed him away there for 1,000 years, and it's only been like 100 of those 1,000 years. So he's very much sealed away. He can still influence things on the mortal plane as any other god could, but he like cannot leave his abode. He's like chained into his keep.
Right. The god of yours, he did some bad things back when he
Wish
was.
you'd stop saying god of mine. I don't worship the guy. I've got to do the job or else I'm fucked.
Do you know his title?
Title. I've heard them talk. I've heard them mad and liar tossed around, but no, I don't know his moniker.
God of Lies. The God of Lies. Do you think when you do what he asks, do you think he's going to give you what you want?
What other option do I have, wee birdie?
I suggest whatever he has on you, you either move away if it can't be fixed, or you fix it.
It's not. You're not getting it. It's not what he has on me. It's what he's showing me.
And I am clobbering him over the head. I'm done.
Yeah? Are you trying to knock him out?
No, I want him dead. He's annoying me.
Oh, interesting. You guys gonna let this happen, or are you stopping this?
I don't know. This is caught me by surprise.
I want to quick. I kind of want to quickly butt in.
Yeah.
I will let Samara continue, but
Samara, you kind of like a baseball pitcher. You kind of like pick your quarterstaff and you kind of ready it. And as Anya's like, yeah, like you go in for the swing, and she's like, just one second.
I'll I'll wind it back up, but I'm still there.
Yeah.
Cyric, want with us?
Good question.
Thing about gods, especially pricks like him, he doesn't really tell me a lot. What I was trying to tell you before your friend tried to clobber my brains out, he doesn't have. I misspoke. It's not that he has dirt on me, it's what he's doing to me. It's the things he's showing me about you. You're the ones that are fucked no matter what happens to me. I'm just saying there's no benefit in bashing me brains out with a stick.
Can I make a... I don't know if it's a religion or whatever the check is, but I want to know if there is a place where you can go where the gods can't affect you.
Make a religion check.
22.
22, damn. So tell me the question again, where the gods can't affect you.
Like, if there's, like, a sacred temple or something, or if there's a temple where just specifically this god can't get to his head.
It's complicated. Gods, after the Avatar crisis, and the gods went back to their places in the heavens and they weren't down here anymore, they were banned from physically entering the material plane again. So they can't, no god physically enter the material plane, but like obviously they can influence things through dreams, through visions, through all sorts of other stuff. In terms of like hiding it, one thing is when you say a god's name, you draw their attention to you. So Cyric's probably, based on your knowledge, you're not quite sure how it works with him being sealed away. You're not sure how the rules have changed, but you've been throwing around the name Cyric a lot. So under other circumstances, his eyes would probably be fixed on you right now. But you're not sure if that still stands.
So there'll be like, there's nowhere to my knowledge where it even has the ability to block out the impact of the gods.
Maybe planes of rival gods, like other heavenly planes. Like, if, I imagine probably devils in the nine hells can't spy on angels in the nine heavens, on the seven heavens, sorry. So, like, there's not really, not to your knowledge, there's not really, like, a room you can go in where literally nothing can get to you. There's, certain things are just at a power level where they know what's happening.
Right, yeah, I'm gonna turn to these other two then and go. There's nowhere this man can go to get these dreams out of his head, and as long as he's having these dreams, he will try and track and kill us.
Then let me.
Oh, I promise I'm done. I'm done. No, come on, I'm done. I failed. Look, me and my friends can't. And you see, he kind of catches him up in himself for a second, and he's like, me and my friends can't. He's not counting with his hands, but you can kind of see him mouthing numbers as he looks around the room. He's like, and he's just been distracted. He loses track of what he was saying to you as he's kind of like now looking off into space, like.
I'm gonna do a perception.
He kind of sits back in his chair.
I want to investigate the half ogre.
Yeah. The what? Sorry.
The not the other god, not the suit of armor, the other one. I want to see if it is like.
So what are you trying to do? Like.
Actually, you know what? No, I'm going to cast detect magic.
Detect magic. Okay.
Yeah.
You cast detect magic. You get 3 strong hits from the 3 dead bodies. The one that came through the lounge, you see, has a ring that is giving off a strong magical energy. The one that came from the kitchen is wearing an amulet that gives off a strong magical energy. And the one that came through the front door is wearing a set of gloves that are giving off a strong magic energy.
Shit. I want to... I want to just look around the room and just see anything that's out of place.
Action check? Sure. Actually, make an intelligence check for me.
Just straight
Before he
intelligence.
does this, can I just say, is he telling us about these magic items so we can collect them, or are you just going to ignore magic items?
Give me a minute. Give me a minute. I'm more focused on the fact that he's counted his
Okay.
friends and now
I'm
he's
working.
more relaxed. Meaning, there's one still somewhere. That's a 14.
14. You think it's weird that, like, it was almost a good plan they had. They came in from most of the entrances. It didn't come in from every entrance. There was specifically the one they didn't come in from two entrances. There's another lounge behind the fire, but you could kind of understand that because maybe there wasn't a good access point. But you notice no one was like blocking the stairs, which seems like, you know, you could have escaped. You could have ran up the stairs and got attention from like someone on the street level. Like it seems weird that like no one on their team, whatever. It just seems weird that they chose to like one came from the lounge, one came from the storeroom, which had no one in them, but no one came from upstairs.
I want to draw my sword and shield and go upstairs, but like kind of cautiously.
Well,
Yeah.
Wait, as Samura, can you wait a minute before you go upstairs? I'm assuming, obviously, I've also noticed him counting his friends, so I would come to not quite the justification. Like, no, it's probably a friend somewhere.
Say that last bit again. Sorry, I didn't quite catch that.
I'm assuming because I also saw him counting dead bodies. Assume that I also know that there's probably more people who don't know how many, and I don't know upstairs. So
yeah,
I'm going to turn to the guy, thinking the truth circle's most likely still there, but I don't think it's been.
It is.
So,
it is still.
Where's he here today?
Say that. Sorry, connection's splitting up. What was that last bit?
Jackson?
Where are the rest of your friends who were meant to be here today?
Yeah. Okay. Well. Okay. You see, he kind of looks back at you and he goes, "They're supposed to be. Why wouldn't they? No, they wouldn't leave. Are you marching up the stairs by this point?
Repeat that, please.
Are you going up the stairs?
I stopped when you said to stop, but I'm at like the bottom of the stairs.
So, do you want to go up or do you want to stay downstairs?
I will start like slowly going up them, but like my shield kind of in front of us.
Okay. So while you're kind of trepidatiously going up them, are you guys asking this guy anything else?
No, I'm gonna follow Ufa, but I'm gonna be like foot behind him.
Okay. If as you kind of crest the top of the stairs, you see the second floor of the Elf Song Tavern. There's kind of like bedrooms. There's like a central room that has like some dining tables on it. It's clearly for like people who are staying there. There's some kind of doors that you presume go to bedrooms. There is a grisly scene here. There is two corpses that have been like torn in half. Like blood is spraying the walls. Like there was another fight up here, and whatever killed these two corpses look like the people you fought downstairs. But whatever was fighting them here, like completely obliterated them. Like one of them is literally like torso from legs torn in half, opposite ends of the room, blood everywhere. The other has just been like gashed on the front and is like splayed across one of the dining tables in a pool of blood. Like the wood itself is like waterlogged with blood and just dripping underneath like this.
I'm just gonna turn around and just go. Nah,
Grizzly.
Nah, I'm done. I'm going back downstairs.
Yeah, not right now.
No.
Can I inspect the wounds to see if I maybe do like a nature check, see if I know if it's like a sword, like an animal's claws, or like.
Yeah, make a nature check. Yeah,
Natural 1.
natural one. It doesn't look like a weapon. I'll give you that. It looks like some sort of claw, some sort of talon, some sort of, some sort of natural implement. It doesn't look like a weapon. Yeah. So are you guys both going back downstairs?
Yeah, I kind of want to.
I'm gonna go and investigate. I want to check the. I want to like.
We'll
check
just.
the rooms.
Are you which rooms, upstairs or downstairs?
Upstairs.
Okay, and Ellis, what were you doing? Sorry.
I'm gonna go downstairs and just kind of pat the guy on the shoulder, and that's about it. I'm just gonna pat him on the shoulder.
Okay. He doesn't question it. He's still lost in thought a bit. Samura, pretty much all of the doors are locked, which isn't surprising because they're like rooms that you'd rent, so you wouldn't want people just walking in. But like, it doesn't necessarily suggest anyone's in them or anything because like they'd lock them so you could sneak in or whatever. But most of the rooms are locked except one or two, which just lead to like smaller private dining rooms.
Right. Yeah. Then after that, I'm gonna go back downstairs, but I'm gonna take the 2 torsos with me.
So there's one hole and one that's split into 2.
I'm just gonna roll them both down the stairs so that the guy downstairs can see them.
Okay, so you just as they like down the steps. Well, first of all, the innkeeper is just like, no, it is to get out of wood, and he's kind of like pacing around a bit, like, oh, this is going to take weeks to clean. And the animated arm kind of puts a gauntlet on his shoulder and like taps him, and he's like, thank you. And yeah, the guy in the chair is like, what the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? And he's kind of like squirming in his chair.
Can I jump from behind this? Is like, see, and just kind of like do this with my front of my eye.
Yeah.
Just to like intimidate him.
Yeah, he's freaking out. He's looking at like you guys, like he understands what happened down here. You guys bested them in combat. Whatever you're showing him is like horrific. Like he doesn't know what happened, and it clearly wasn't what happened down here where they got beaten. Like they've been mauled. Like looks like a bear attack or something. Like it's grim, and he's kind of squirming in his chair. What the fuck is that? Jesus. Jesus. He probably says, let's think of it. He probably says like, my God, what the hell was that? And he's like squirming in his chair, and he looks terrified, whatever this is.
Yeah, can I roll a deception check and go, before you execute a plan, you should probably check I haven't found your 2 friends first.
Yeah, make a deception check.
I got a 12.
12. He doesn't seem to respond, and he jerks in such an ugly that the chair he's sitting on falls to the side. Like he's now like on the floor, still tied to the chair, just like wriggling around, like panting and like almost crying or like screeching, like. He's just like the wood of the chair is smashing off the ground as he's trying to break free.
Any more questions?
Yeah, so guys, what do you do? You want to kill him or do you want to send him to jail?
Well, I would assume.
Hey, say how many of him and his friend. I was waiting for Ellis to finish.
Pause. Ellis, you speak, and then the other will comment because they have less lag.
I was literally saying, so what do you want to do with them?
Okay. So, Jess Jackson.
I was just saying, how many did he mention? How many of him and his friends were supposed to come to the bar?
He hasn't
No.
said that yet. No, he hasn't said an exact number.
Okay.
You can ask him if you'd like, but he's panicking right now.
I think we should probably just hand him into the guard, most likely, them locked up. What do you guys think?
So you want to leave him to the
Alon.
Flaming
Okay.
Fist?
Yeah. So the Alon, the half elf, kind of approaches the group of you, and he's like, "Oh, the Flaming Fist are useless, but they." And he kind of looks around, and he's like, "Can you believe they're not even here already? What do you pay them for? But should be here soon, and they can deal with them." Look, I really appreciate you protecting me and my staff. Thank you. I presume since you're here so late, you were planning on staying here tonight, so tonight's on me.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you very
Quite
much.
welcome. No bother. And I know a winning horse when I see one, so let's say any subsequent nights you stay here at the Elf Song Tavern are half the regular price, because you guys know what you're doing, and I like that. So, yeah, he kind of looks around. He's Clank, Schooner, go and get the mop. I don't know, or get a wizard. Someone can clean this up. And Schooner, kind of the half ogre, goes like, I'll go see if River's awake. Probably not though. And she kind of stomps out of the tavern, and Clank just kind of swivels around and goes and gets the mop and bucket, starts mop like the pools of blood, and like he keeps mopping even though like the halved corpse keeps secreting more blood, and he's like trying to race it, like clean it, getting this thing can bleed. Eventually, a member of the Flaming Fist comes in. He's kind of wearing like off-plate armor, like metal armor on the arms and legs, and he's got this kind of tapestry on his front of the Flaming Fist symbol, like reds and oranges. This guy doesn't look well off either. Like people in Baldur's Gate, especially in the lower city, they aren't very well off. They kind of live meager lives for the most part. But this guy looks stockier than some of the other people you've met. He's like, "Oh yeah, we heard there was a disturbance." And he kind of looks around and he's like, "Fuck me, jeez, not Jesus. Wow, it's really annoying. Jesus doesn't exist here. Let's make up another god." By God, what happened there? It stinks.
You know, being part of like the guard of the local area, shouldn't you to these types of places faster?
Why are you gonna pay me?
I think you're not worth paying at all. Yet here after the ended.
I would have defended myself if I was here, but I've got other things to do, so I'm here now. And besides, look, you handled yourselves very well. Wait a minute. None of you committed any crimes, did you? He kind of like looks around, kind of wagging a finger at you. Alon.
Can I use disguise self and look like him?
Yeah, so you kind of, and your image shifts and you look exactly like him as he's like,
I'm gonna just go, "You didn't commit any crimes, did you?" And copy his accent and start doing everything he does.
make a performance check.
That's 18.
18. You do a surprise, like, you're an Aarakocra, but everyone thinks you're a parrot for a second because you like kind of almost perfectly replicate his voice, and he's like, "Don't like that. Right, well, Alon, do you want help cleaning this bloody mess up? I can get some of the boys together. It'll cost you." And he kind of goes over, and he's kind of prodding some of the body. He goes over to the body that you killed Samura with the poison, and he kind of looks in at this collapsed rib cage covered in this like viscous liquid, and he's like, "Fuck me, that is nasty. Oh, Rads, who did this in?"
Can I keep copying his voice? And
You're
in
just
his
following
accent
him around
stuff
doing
like
it.
him? Can I go?
What is your problem? Stop it.
Can I go? Oh, I mean, I did that, but that means you did that.
No, I did. Oh,
Well,
you are doing my head in. Right. Yeah, he kind of storms off, like you keep following him around. So for the rooms, you have a few options. So there are 3 rooms to choose from that are currently available. One is a richly appointed room with velvet curtains, framed paintings of ships, a canopied bed, a night table, a sea chest, and a wardrobe. The other 2 rooms are plain, containing a cozy bed, empty wooden chest, and curtains on the window. So who wants which room? There's one nice one, and there's 2 like, yeah, they're okay ones.
I don't mind going okay.
I'll take an
An okay one.
Uh-oh.
So I think Jess and Jackson claimed the okay ones. So Ellis,
I think Ellis should get the nice one because he did the most in the combat.
Yeah,
So.
fair enough. Is there anything you guys would like to do before you go and get some rest, or are you guys ready to play? Yeah, Jess?
The guy that's attached to the chair still there.
Yeah, he's just kind of wriggling on the floor. By this point, the guardsman, the flaming fist, has kind of approached him. He's like, "Is this guy a criminal or is this unrelated?" And Alan's like, "Of course he's a criminal, you idiot." And he's like, "All right, you're under arrest or something."
Wait, before he's taken away, can I quickly kneel down and say something to him?
Yeah, the zone of truth is also still.
Oh, okay. How many more are there after us?
Look, I don't know. He showed me and everyone else that was here tonight. He's been showing us you for fucking months. We found each other and we came here to just do what he said. He said it would stop once we stopped it, right? That's all we were here to do. I'm sorry, I don't know you. I'm sure you're a lovely person. I'm sure you all are. But there's only so much you can see before you go a little bit mad.
So you're telling me there's only 6 of you that arrived here tonight?
There's only 6 of us now, but we're kind of fucked. I'm surprised if there's more coming.
Take him away.
And the guardsman's like, "Oh, fuck, yeah. God shit." And bends over and picks him up. And he kind of like drags the chair. And he's like, "Oh, Alon, you want this chair?" And he's like, "Yes, I want the chair. It's my chair." And he's like, "Fucking all right." And he kind of cuts him free. And the guy just kind of like is like in a ball, kind of holding himself, kind of shaking. And he's like, "You're under arrest for violating, fucking, I don't know, something. Come on." And he drags him out by like behind the cuff. Some other guardsmen come in, kind of help up with the cleaning, dispose of the bodies. You hear one of the guardsmen go like, "Hey, you want to take that candle, Hollows, or is that for Brother Rogers?" Another kind of response like, "I don't think Candle is just going to take care of that one. Either throw them in the river or take them to Brother Rogers, yeah." And they remove the corpses. Anyone like to do anything else? Yes, Ellis?
So, obviously I detected the thing before, right? Before like the guards came and took everything, can we say we took the stuff?
Yes. Yes, I will say that. If you have the identify spell and you can identify what they are.
I was about to do that.
Okay, then you and...
I was going to use that earlier, but it's because it's that you need let me find it there. You need a pearl worth at least 100 JP and an owl feather, and I didn't know whether I was allowed to use that if I didn't have those items.
I'll just say for this session, so actually just for clarity for the audience and also for us, we'll say starting next session, you guys have ran out of material components, and you're going to need to go shopping to be able to do your stuff. But for this session, I'll say you have what you need. So good to use any spells. So I'll say you two, Anya and Samura, you kind of sit down at a table together. Eartha, you put the gloves and the ring and on the table, and you two kind of help each do some magic, and you identify what these 3 items are. So I will read them to you. Ring is a ring of heat metal. So the ring can be used to cast heat metal twice a day. It cannot be used again until dawn. So heat metal is you can like pretty instantly heat up like someone's weapon or armor or any other kind of metal, and unless they drop it or get it off them, it deals 2d8 fire damage. And you can use your bonus action on subsequent turns to like reignite it, as long as you don't break concentration on it. So that's a ring of heat metal. Also, if you guys decide who's getting these, I'll get them to you during the week somehow. The amulet is an amulet of sleep. The amulet can be used to cast the following spell. It cannot be used again until dawn. So you can cast the sleep spell and put people to sleep, depending on how much hit points they have. And the pair of gloves are gloves of Dispel Magic. The gloves can be used to cast the spell twice. It cannot be used again until dawn. They all require attunement, so you have to attune to them over a rest. And then you can have a certain amount of attuned items to you. I'll explain that to you yet, but I'll explain that to you outside of the session at some point. So there's 3 items. Would you guys like to divvy these up?
I want the Dispel Magic, personally.
You want the gloves of Dispel Magic?
Yes, and if nobody else has an issue with that.
Not a problem. Jess, what do you want?
Can I have the ring?
Of course you
Ring
can.
of Heat Metal, yes.
Because I already have a sleep spell.
Makes sense. And that leaves you with the Amulet of Sleep.
No problem. I'll use it wisely.
Is that alright with you?
Yep, that's perfect. So I'll get those item cards to you during the week. But also, you can either just get it on Google, or you guys have the spell cards. If you don't, it's fine. You can just use to look at those spells. It's just the spell. The item is just used to cast that spell without it using one of your precious spell slots. So you're in the cozy room. Do you guys want to do anything else before you hit the hay, or are you ready to go to sleep?
I'm tired as fuck.
Cool.
You go to sleep.
I'm still the dude, presumably, so when that frees the hostage out, I'm gonna walk up to the other 2 and go, oh, by the way, I forgot, still copying his accent. I actually owe you 500 gold for something I made a bet with someone else a couple of days ago. I'll bring it to you tomorrow, just remind me. And I'll then, go away.
Make a deception check. With advantage, because you did well on the performance.
15.
15, yeah. They go, one of them, the 2 are kind of in the middle of disposing of one of the corpses, and one of them's, oh yeah, I remember. Yeah. Thanks for reminding me, Vic. I'll remind you tomorrow.
Yeah, and then I'll go to bed.
Yeah. Cool. So yeah, you guys go to your respective rooms. Ellis, your room is very nice. So I'll read the quick description again, but there's also an extra thing. So your room is kind of above the entry, the door. It's above there, so it's kind of got an angled shape, south wall. It's got a nice window that looks over the street. It's richly appointed, velvet curtains, framed paintings of ships, a canopied bed. It has curtains you can pull across the bed. Sea chest to put your stuff in, a wardrobe to put your clothes and armor in. But it also has attached to it. It has a private attached to your room. No other access except through your bedroom. It has a private dining room booth with a table and 4 stools that you can't get into through anywhere else. It's only through your bedroom. So it's only like a 10-foot by 10-foot room with like a round table, same as the booths downstairs, but just attached to room. Yeah, Jess, Anya, and Samura, you go to your rooms. They're on the north side of this establishment, on the top floor also. Yeah, they're not quite as nice, but they're also not dingy. You know, like the bed's nice. They don't have as much decorations like Itha's room does. They've got, like I said, cozy bed. They've got an empty chest for you to put your stuff in. They've got some like linen curtains on the windows so you can draw them closed. But yeah, that is, we'll call that today's session, and we'll end that there with the night.